Hey, hey, hi, I played some Grixis and wanted to die. Every time I'd win, I'd lose and sigh. So now it's time to ban midrange. And I'm out of rhymes. Let's post that deck list, huh? Deck paste. Home. Play. In. Ban midrange. Boom. Crazy Miner 51 says, what is your guilty food pleasure? I've been slowly eliminating the truly guilty ones. I want to paste the deck list. You know, I'm going to hit submit and just see what happens. There it is. That is correct. What? This hand doesn't really do anything. It doesn't ramp. This guy needs a lot of mana. This guy needs a lot of mana. This is kind of a weak 3-drop. This hand also really stinks, but, you know, better than the other one. What's a guilty food pleasure? Carnitas tacos on Friday, but I don't feel that guilty about that. I mean, maybe just some dirty pizza. Just some dirty pizza, man. Like Papa John's pizza, Domino's pizza is just disgusting. I mean, like, I feel sick for days after eating that shit. And, yeah, no, I definitely eat it sometimes. But yeah, I mean, I guess it would be like beer. I guess I'm down to about 0 or 1 days a week of alcohol consumption. 0 or 1 days a week, excuse me. Teferi time leveler.
Sorry I'm late.
It is I, Thick Man. Here, Spiel says, Day 9, how's the working out going? By the way, my name is Day 9 with square brackets. Parentheses is the most incorrect way to type it.
Hero thing before.
The second most incorrect way is to type in DAY9.
Let's add this battle to your record.
Guys, how's workout stuff going? It's going alright. Die. Everyone's typing it in all these horrible ways. No! No! You're a bastard, you're a bastard, you're a bastard.
I've got it.
Oh my Krasis, Jesus. Teferi Time Raveler is just such a piece of ass. This fucking card is ruining my life. I actually think this is the best play. But it's going alright. It's going alright. The big thing I'm trying to do is just to be consistent. Just keep showing up. Just keep showing up. God, I've never seen so many ugly renditions of my name. I mean, these are truly appalling. This is amazing.
Few things can withstand my careful scrutiny.
Trust me, I have a plan.
Yeah, just trying to be consistent. I'm pretty happy. I'm on week 6 in a row of attending the shit out of the gym. Wow, I am just watching myself die.
Banish evil from this plane.
I have to banish evil from the plane. This guy is such a fucking bastard.
Prepare for battle.
I'm just gonna concede. I don't even want to play the rest of that game. I'm just getting moited. Okay, what do I get rid of in this matchup? Alright, so Knight of Autumns don't seem particularly useful. You know, I'm realizing I have no idea how to sideboard with this deck. Is Teferi Time Raveler that useful? Can someone help me with the sideboarding plan? Like, I actually don't know what it is I do about in this one. I feel like I need more activity on the board quicker. Shalai Voice of Plenty helps a bit. I feel like Vivien is actually not very helpful to us. Which feels weird given that it's like a Bant flash deck. Dovin's Veto, I think, will be good. I think the Disdainful Strokes and the Deputy are going to be useful. Just a nice big beater lady, something like that. Planeswalker heavy deck is like super fascinating. I saw it like emerge not too terribly long ago. This is a nice hand. I mean, the big thing for me is I'm trying to just be really regular with eating healthy, really regular with attending the gym. Move Time Raveler, it can't bounce. I don't really need it to bounce things. I just need it to... I think I actually am interested in ramping to this. What I actually need it to do is to prevent casting of things. It's really, really useful. Dum-da-dum-da-da. Goodbye. Yeah! Will I be at BlizzCon this year? Maybe. Yeah, I'd say probably. I'll probably go to BlizzCon. I generally go to BlizzCon, but it's, you know, many months away. At this juncture. Kabish. So I would expect that our opponent is actually going to be running a lot of removal, but not... Well, I should say some removal, but not terribly much. Other assorted pastries.
I am not going to sit this one out.
Goodbye.
That's more like it.
Delay of game. Teferi Time Raveler just shits on Frilled Mystic.
Don't worry. I got this.
Sarkhan.
You will feel the lick of my flames. Behold!
It's a dragon. Wait, what? Oh. I thought it was just Sarkhan. Well, I've made a mistake.
Watch this.
Man, this card is way better than I thought it was upon first read. Nice. Man. Whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, each dragon you control deals 1 damage to that creature. Damn. Yeah, I remember when someone posted this deck list and is like, I've only played it a little bit, but I'm pretty sure this deck is tier 1. Now I'm starting to see it. There's probably going to be some spell that gets cast to lock me out of doing anything now. Fibblethip actually is that spell. Narset is not that spell. That's good.
Focus and meditate and prepare.
Lightning Strike, okay. I think we do want to kill this bad boy first.
I will listen to them roar.
Alright, so that's fine. Yeah.
There is no peace in defeat.
X equals 5. That's right, so God-Eternal Oketra's doing it. Oh shit! Dude, I'm just having trouble tracking all these planeswalkers, man. Fucking hell.
Fight with a dragon's ray. Look to the skies.
Jesus.
I'll protect you.
Fuck. Dude, this deck. Jesus. I mean, one of the things that really sucks is that Walker deck literally feels like the hardest possible hard counter to our deck. Like the hardest possible hard counter. Jesus. The opponent's deck is this Sarkhan Planeswalker heavy deck that I think runs like 6 or 7 different Planeswalkers. And the gist of it is you use all these Planeswalkers to be annoying and to delay until you can get out Sarkhan, and the win condition is Sarkhan. Because as you see, Sarkhan just turns everything into a... Yoicks. Sarkhan just turns everything straight up into a dragon. So since this is Gruul, I think the Growth Chamber Guardian is pretty damn powerful against Gruul. Obviously needs to not get shocked. Turn 3 Teferi hurts a lot of decks. I mean, it's the Teferi means I can't flash in any Frilled Mystics. Or use Vivien. So that's like 8 cards that it directly hurts. And then, Narset prevents draw from Hydroid Krasis. And we tend to have a smaller number of threats. And those get shut down by... The smaller number of threats tend to get shut down by that dude that disables us. It's like, woo! Yeesh. Okay, so that says to me Chain Whirler. So we accept the Chain Whirler. Hello, my whirly friend. Spellbreaker. Okay. Potato, potato. Man, it's so fun. I've been playing that mono green Tron deck so much. What does this guy do? What is this? What is this? Guild Mage's Form. Oh. Okay, so I think I want to block like this. But do I want to block these other ones? I think I just do. I think this is fine. Leaving but a single guy up just seems pretty nice. So if I, at any point, peel a land off the top, we're in good shape. So I'm going to chump with the Growth Chamber, because if we can go Oketra Llanowar Elf, we can just, like, immediately stabilize. I'm not going to chump that one. Maybe double Collision Colossus or something like this. Or Collision Zap. But I'm going to take the risk. I'm a risky-taking boy. Boy, that's risky, but I like taking risks. My name is Day 9. You know, maybe I should have attacked, but I think that I need to be in super defense mode. It's like Muffin asked, for the mono green Tron deck, you decide whether you prefer the original version or the one with Palaka Pals in it. Definitely the one with Palaka Pals. I love the one with Palaka Pals in it, man. Love, love, love the Palaka Pally one. And I think 2's the right number. When I was going for 3, it was in the hand just a little bit too much with 3. Okay, so if I block like this, our opponent's obviously going to proliferate. If I do something like this, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I think I do have to do like this because I don't want to get collisioned to death. Who's being Colossused to death. Tantabrise's Palaka might be the card I associate the most with Day 9. I love that wormy guy. I love the Palaka Worm so much. God, I love that card so damn much. Jesus, Jesus. So our opponent doesn't have enough mana to Colossus and proliferate. Did you just see me play around death? This is where he just shocks me in the face, and that's a good game. Fuck. Oh, man. Alright, let us see here. Alright. Night of the Autumn doesn't seem as necessary. Frilled Mystics seem a little expensive and clunky in this matchup. I think these Baffling Ends are going to do us good work. Deputy of Detention. Probably the Lyras. I don't quite understand this deck yet. I've been interested to try it out, but I don't quite understand where the strengths and the weaknesses of this deck are. Like if I contrast that with my playing a mono green Tron, I have a pretty good sense of like when it feels good to get a Karn early or when it feels bad to get a Karn early. So in that regard, I get our friend Tron, pay to life. But like for instance, should I be excited about getting this out on turn 3? Because I feel like it's more important for me to just get some shit down. I don't know. Let me play this Vivien first and see what it feels like.
Makes me swear.
I'm just gonna -2 Vivien.
There is wonder in a blade of grass.
Alright, so I mean I have this now. And it's just, so she's sort of like weaker card draw, but everything also has flash. I also think our opponent probably has way too many colorless lands in there.
I'll be back, just like before.
Alright, a man with needs mana. Okie dokie. Alright. Get in there, my friend. Here I go. So I think that I'm viewing this... I think I need to view this as a lot more of a slow and controlling and grindy deck. I think that's how I have to be viewing it as. Also, Jesus. No one gets any land. Day 9 is better at not having any land. Because the Viviens feel like a different kind of mode of card draw, where it's in this exile zone, so nothing can, like, interact with it. So I think that I need to be thinking of cards. I need to be thinking of Vivien in that way. And sort of planning accordingly. Which now makes Teferi Time Raveler make sense, because we're just looking at ways to disable, remove, slow down. Like, if I get a Vivien early, it's just letting me draw cards. Shalai is, like, not necessarily a turn 4 play. Obviously, you can play it on turn 4, but I shouldn't think of this as, like, I'm curving into Shalai. I should think of it as, like, this is the card that will help protect this board that I've slowly built. Which, I mean, makes sense. It is white, blue, green. Waiting on your opponent. So this seems good enough. So I should sort of view, like, I want to play these relatively early. Rarely do I want to, like, get a Growth Chamber Guardian out and just start beating away. No! My good pen! Where did it go? Ah! Quickly, day 9. Aha! I found you! Ah, you were hiding in the cords. You cannot escape me for as long as you live. Okay, what the hell is even going on, huh? Alright, so do I need any white mana soon? Not really. So, what is a man without his appropriately balanced pen? What is a man but a miserable little pile of pens? Du charme. Welcome to this here good old pile of day-nightitude, my friend. So we don't necessarily have anything that's 3 mana that we want to cast. I'm going to play the Growth Chamber Guardian because it's something. It can block a Ski 2 Lava Runner, don't mind taking 2. Dusham, welcome. Welcome to the Twitch stream, man. Hey, who here is recently from YouTube and now watching on Twitch? I don't interact with the YouTube folks very directly. Interact with everyone here all the time. Right here on Twitch. Inferno Droid, Mr. Mystery Pig, Swazo, Sacrificial Donut. Oh my god! All you fine folks are brand new too. Woo! What just happened? Guild Mage? Okay. No blacks. No blacks at all. I shan't do it. Okay, so I'm pretty sure we just Baffling End that, yeah? We can also upgrade this, make it a little bigger, a little more sturdy. Kind of a little... I think I actually want to get this out. Wow, there are so many brand new sub-folks who are from YouTube here. Do welcome. Iridiums have been here for 3 months now from YouTube. Iridium. I mean, I know you, Iridium. No! We're gonna get bing-bonged. No, not the bing-bong. Not enough mana for a Chain Whirler. So I think I do this first. Oh, it's Sheriff. It's afternoon snuggle time.
How this thing goes is up to you, pal. For the fallen.
I mean, that's pretty good. Hi, Sheriff. Once again, between the hours of 4 p.m. and 7 p.m., Sheriff gets up from her roost, looking at cats outside the window. There's gonna be looking at birds outside the window, and comes by, and sometimes she wants snuggles. Sometimes she just wants to rub against things, get scratched on the ground. It's all good. If this swings into face, we're blocking it. Do I want to chump this and then give that vigilance and reach? I'm going to try this line. These are both Hinterland Harbors.
You'll have to do better than that.
Now, if this is a
Fight
collision,
like a
then that
city
stinks. Excellent. Excellent. Vigilance and reach seems like a pretty powerful combination. Another thing, Lyra is just going to be swinging in the face from here on out. Is that right? Very time level. Alright, let's play this first, and then let's bounce something, see what we get.
Let's slow this down.
I'm just gonna bounce, whatever, it doesn't matter, it's the largest thing on the board. Go to 18. I don't want to really be passive right now because there's Collision Colossus in the deck, which can just shoot my dude out of the air. What is Nahiri doing?
Oppose me and be reduced to rubble.
Okay. You got it, man. You did it. Unless I'm here from the daily days. I just rewatched Day 9 Violently Butchers a Daily, and it was glorious. God, that's happened a lot of times. I've violently butchered dailies plenty of times. Like losing track of my train of thought and shit. Starting to like ramble in loops. Oh, that's right. You can flash in Lyra. Damn. I keep forgetting about the main benefit of Vivien. Alright. I'm starting to see how this pupper can work. Oh, that would have gotten us a free unit. So I think that basically our only out now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I gotta jump. I think our only out now is just straight up a Crazy Boy. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, that's death. Okay. I'm starting to see the way to rock this pupper out. Starting to see some of the benefits of the flashies. Worth it, says Day 9. I've eaten Popeyes and now I feel vaguely sick. How could I have possibly prevented this? Dude, this is the story of me with like fast foodie stuffs. That seems bad. Seems better. Yeah, why not? Yeah, dude, I just do not do any fast food, like, at all anymore, man. I feel so sick all the time. Hi, Sheriff. Hi. Yeah, meow. Oh, I got my favorite little kitten. Here she is. Comes out, she's a 4.
I've lost so much already.
So I make her big to stay alive, and then we can hip hip Shalai. Hip hip Shalai. Yeah, like I don't eat McDonald's like at all, man. Like not even the slightest. Ronnie says, I feel like I'm a fast food addict. Any tips to break yourself away from that habit? Oh yeah, straight up. There is one tip. Stop eating it for a while.
Now we're getting... I always survive.
And then when you go back and you do eat it, you will feel so bad you will not want to do it. You will feel so horrible. Like, spend 2 weeks eating healthy. Just 2 weeks. Just 2 weeks. And then be like, alright, time to eat a bunch of shitty food. And I swear to God, it will be the worst day of your life. I'm gonna do this and just see what we get.
You show remorse. I'll here we
I think I've done more damage to myself with Shocklands than my opponent has. I'm back! Ah! Light up the stage. Well, everything lives, that's good.
Here goes nothing.
Boy, that feels so good. Oof. I just don't think I tech. This guy's very nice against that. Wow. Take the cards, man. I don't want to go to 4.
got time.
Alright. Now is our chance. Does this deck run 4 Crazy Boys? You know it runs 4 Crazy Boys. Is that gonna matter at all? You know it's not gonna matter in the slightest. Bing bong. Ah! Alright. The life gain in Spain. Ah!
I have a plan.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, that's what that's supposed to feel like, huh? Woo! Well, we lost. Here comes Skewer the Critics. Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. Shit happens. Shit happens. I think this Frilled Mystic is not going to help us so much. I think that the... I think maybe we just get rid of this pupper. Definitely that. Definitely these. I think Dovin's Veto is going to be very helpful here. Seems fine. Just feeling it out. Just feeling it out. I like Mystics more than Vivien. Intuitively, I agree with you. Practically speaking, I'm trying to just get a better feel of when and how to use this last. Bye, my friend. To hold up 4 mana for Frilled Mystic, we don't die. I'd give the answer kinda. Kinda. We also don't really threaten the lethal. But we also, by doing that, we also heal 2 less health. So I think I'm gonna try this, where you like plus, try to keep her alive. I mean, like the Vivien and the Teferi, like all our planeswalkers seem pretty mediocre if our opponent is an aggressive deck. Fanatical Fjordbrand. And she's gone.
Okay, so you've got claws. Not dead yet.
Pay that and run out this last. Okay. Yeah, I think that our sideboarding plan has not been so strong. Because, I mean, if that Lyra were, like, any of our actually active cards... Because there's nothing particularly unusual that our red opponent's doing, other than just, like, playing the cards out. So I think I need to adjust that a bit. God-Eternal Oketra, like, doesn't really help. I mean, if that's, like, a... Holy shit. Alright, well, if we can draw an untapped land... I mean, we can plausibly live another turn. I'm just going to get out of this game and just adjust the boarding plan going forward. Alright, I want to just look at this for a little bit. So if we That's why I've been wanting to play this deck, because it kind of plays weirdly. So the sideboard... Oh, yeah, I should have got another Knight of Autumn in there. Because, like, if I actually just remove all 7 Planeswalkers, what would we add in? We'd add in 2 Lyras, a Knight, 2 Dovin's Vetoes, and 3 Baffling Ends. And we can actually start cutting Frilled Mystics, too. And I think that's a better sideboard plan. I don't want to change the deck list too much, because what I'm really feeling is there's a lot of plays I'm just missing due to inexperience. That seems fine. Haven't really gotten to use any of the flash aspects of this deck. I should have played that next. I made a mistake. Played that first. Hydroid Krasis. Alright. So, I mean, if I play Vivien... Alright, so we have Gideon.
Share in my light.
So we don't block that. So, I mean, this is definitely a Knight of Autumn game. Ugh. See, I made such a mistake by not playing that on the very first turn. Well, I mean, I guess we'll just have to eat it. Knight of Nialis. That's a surprising main board.
Your light will cleave the darkness.
Alright, so we're gonna hit that with the no blocks. Okay, so let's see here. So if we bounce this, as long as any player controls a white permanent. Okay, so that doesn't actually really help us very much. Okay. What is it going to be? What's it gonna get? Does it update the text dynamically? No. So if I were to block... This gets Vigilance, so I want to block this and buff this guy. I'm surprised this dude didn't just exile this. Wants to keep his giddy pal alive. Oh, yeah. Well, this is going to get traded for sure. Okay, so we're going to block like this. And we block this Vigilance one. And then we buff this. So then we can play Teferi Time Raveler. to bounce this
Right on
one.
schedule. Might be a bad idea.
Draw. Perfect. A Hallowed Fountain. Nice. I don't exactly need this Llanowar Elves, so I can just chump. Okay.
I will lend you my strength.
I will lend you my strength. Alright, so we just chump here. Boink. That's pretty good.
Let's try this.
Alright, so now we can chump this and then block these two puppers. And let a mobilized district through. Okay, what are you giving it? What are you giving this guy? This mobilized district can come to town for sure. Mobilized district is kind of a cool card in aggro decks. What was the choice? Indestructible. Okay. So that's the one that we'll probably let through. I think this is going to mobilize, right? So we'll go to 1, which is fine. Okay. This is indestructible, so we block these two. This gets chumped. No. This gets chumped. This blocks this. This blocks this. Cool. And then before combat, we Incubation Druid up. Alright, we're meandering towards stabilization. Very kinda. Army of Incubation Druids. Army of Incubation Druids. Feeling good. No. So actually, if I swing... Does this feel a little risky to you? Does that feel a little risky to you? Maybe that's a little risky. If I get a Hydroid Krasis, I will heal for approximately 1 billion. Alright. Maybe I should just swung with a pair. I don't know. Let's see here. Deputy of Detention is definitely helpful. I think I want the Knight of Autumn, I think, right? If he's black-white, probably has some other things. I think I do want... I think I just, like, cut all of this bullshit stuff. I think I just get rid of all my Planeswalkers if I'm up against an aggro deck. Truman Oketra. And we can find the deck list. It's right up there on the screen. You can see the deck list and click on that and it'll link to all the decks. Man, we were getting murdered a lot. Fuck. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll just put in another Frilled. I think it's correct to cut all our flashy shit. Think it's okay? I don't know, man. I'm really struggling to even feel the power with this deck, but I've been hearing a lot of people talk about decks like this. Which would lead me to assume that I'm doing something incorrect with the gameplay. I think I'd rather just get the Growth Chamber Guardian down. Time Warp availability feels good. Is this declared to be night? Yes. Good play as any. I'll just plan on Krasising for 3. Excuse me, Krasising for 4. Every game that I've played, I think the big mistake that I've been doing is just not cutting all the walkers against these aggro decks. Because, I mean, all my planeswalkers have felt just completely useless.
I have come for vengeance and blood.
So this can only hit me or bring a dude from the graveyard back. So this is pretty relevant to us. Yeah, I think that's the mistake. Is that, like, you know, there's certain themes where it's like, this is a planeswalker-based deck that uses flash. Ah, cool. And then, yeah, I mean, that's cool, but, like, if you die, that sucks. Alright, cool, we get to kill this. Damn, he saw the solution.
I abhor my need for blood. End this insolence.
1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, we're starting to get some of those creatures out. We're starting to become big. We're starting to get swollen. Prison realm. Ah. Get him, man. Prison realm's a pretty tight card. Orzhov Knights, huh?
What a mess I've made.
You know, I'm willing to accept one more bonk. Farts. Even this killing that doesn't help us so much, huh? Let me see if there's some way that I can, like, kill off Sorin Vengeful Bloodlord before time wiping. We'll see what 600 at the wheels does. This Black-White Knights deck is pretty cool. This is another one I've been seeing crop up, too. Alright, what are you going to do? What are you going to do 600 at the wheels? Swing with both? Alright, I will. Quad block seems kind of weak. See, now I can swing back and kill Sorin. Unless 600 at the wheels has 2 things to play.
Vampirism is a useful trait.
Tight. Hell yeah. I did it! I did it, everyone! We got him! We can't lose now! There's no way 600 at the wheels has any removal spells. No way! I guarantee it. Guarantee it, man. Yeah, now it doesn't even matter that I'm playing transparently. Yes! No attacks. Boom. Bam. Take that, man. Knight of Grace? More like Knight of... countered, he said, cleverly. Boom! Ba-boom, shazoom. Alright. Now we're 30 health behind. That's fine. I've opted to take an action. Take this action all day. Alright, who's ready to mash that spacebar button? Boom! Down to 31! Can you believe the power? Alright, that does suck. Okay, does this get summoning sickness? I know exactly who I am. Dun, 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 dun. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Bring it on. Alright. Alright. Wow, I had no idea that land had summoning sickness like that. I did not know that. I mean, I guess the rule's still consistent. It's just one of those things where, you know, I feel like summoning sickness applies to creatures. But I guess I've known that with artifacts earlier today. Alright. Dapt. No! Ah! Alright, he's all out of lands. But he's not all out of problems. Make the noise. Take the action. Ah! Alright, I think this is fine to do. I'm gonna do this. God, I wish I could destroy that and just redraw. Oh! 2 mobilized districts. Ugh. Dude, if I get no Oketra. Actually, I just want the Hydroid Krasis. Who am I kidding? Why not heal? I mean, I'd rather the question be like, why? Like, here's my explanation for healing up. Alright, everything dies, right? Yeah, I think the answer's... I'm gonna do this, even though technically this mobilized thing can hit us. I think we're doing okay, yeah. Oh my god! Alright. Alright, I think my boarding is fine. Maybe like that even. Nope. I think I'm gonna go back to the 3 frill. Is the Esper deck hard to play? I think Esper midrange is pretty straightforward. I find this deck to be very tricky for me. I'm having a struggle, man. I'm falling all over myself. Stepping on rakes. Cracking my teeth. Stepping into rusty buckets. No big Tron deck today. We did that in the morning and we hit Legend. We hit Mythic. We hit Challenger. We've been placed into Grandmaster League. God, I'm such a risk taker. Pay 2 life. Get out there. Alright, everyone. Assemble the troops. Which Tron deck? Green. Okay, here we go. Okay, one time. Play Gideon. Or History of Benalia. History. Gideon.
Prime day for justice. Share in my light.
Aww. It's me, the God-Eternal Oketra. Oh, turn 3, Oketra. Turn 3, Oketra. We can actually deal with that. We're gonna get marginally Bing-bonged. That's fine. I guess we take that action. I think there's an argument to be made to not take the action
Prepare
as
for
well.
battle.
Alright, I just keep playing God-Eternal Oketra. Now, Gideon wants to -6 to kill God-Eternal Oketra. You can do that. Is the audio weirdly crackly? Just refresh and wait a little bit. It gets fixed every now and again. Oh! I mean, we're committed now, huh? Probably +1 in it. Prevents Gideon from -6ing.
I've fought worse.
Alright.
Your light will cleave the darkness.
This is a bit of a pickly spot. I mean, I guess I just do this. I hit it with the no attacks, huh? Play and pray, baby. I mean, it could be the case that 600 at the wheels just has a handful of removal. If this lives this one turn. He's a kid and he's like, let me in! It just keeps smashing me. Alright, Gideon and a handful of removal is very hard for our creature-based deck to deal with. Seraph of the Scales! Seraph of the Scales! Seraph of the Scales! Seraph of the Scales. Oh!
I believe in you.
How the hell do we deal with that? just do this. So this has to do this, right? And we just see what occurs. What's gonna happen? Bing.
That was a good hit.
Bong.
Do not frighten me.
Like this. I guess we should have done it for 4 anyways. I guess we should have done it for 4 anyways because...
I believe in you, friend.
This would have been given indestructible anyways. Okay, so do I have any way to deal with this? Like, at all? I mean, I guess it's just a deputy at this point. Okay, so that lets us live like for 1 more turn.
Bravery wasn't enough.
Oh my god, we killed Gideon. Here comes a Gideon. Oh, that is bad news. Yeah, Deputy of Detention would be like really good off the top right now. Would be like really helpful. Okay, so we're dead. Ah, farts. Oh my god, when we get booted from the server. I think we've lost every single match with this deck so far. Every single game with this Bant deck. We're figuring it out. Can't believe I didn't top deck. I know, right? It's confusing to me. Alright, seems reasonable. Stuff Prison Realms in there? I don't think so. I don't think that's the right logic yet. There's so much that's going wrong because I'm not as comfortable with the deck, so I mean, I'd rather address those first. Shard of Course, huh? That's kind of a surprising one to see. Oops. I mean, I think that we're starting to get a sense of, like, when we should and should not. Oh, I'm blocking that, yeah. Yeah. When we should and should not be doing things. I think this is the one that we're going to send back. Okay. I think we just wanted to Teferi Time Raveler and send that pupper back.
I can no longer stand by.
I think it's like turns like this that I have like so many question marks. Where were you last game? I have so many question marks about, like, when which thing's good and what not to play and everything. I think I wait a turn on this. Be gone. Plus.
I'll protect you.
I'll protect you. Gideon would be a good card in this deck. Again, I think that there's literally so many just like situations that I'm unfamiliar with this deck. The most important thing is for me to develop familiarity with the deck. Like, that seems like the correct choice. Damn. Can't quite do the stuff I want to do. I'll just wait a turn, because if I adapt this, I don't have enough mana to cast the Frilled Mystic. Because I can generate 4 total, but 3 of them have to be the same color. And I might want to double adapt. I do not quite have the resources for it. So is this like an Arclight Phoenix deck, or is this just a regular old Phoenix deck? Okie. We are in the think tank in these games. I'm not even talking too terribly much. I'm just like really trying to like slowly think through and process like how the heck do I play this one? I think Night of the Autumn is not as useful here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Let's see if you're worthy. Tear it down. Tear it all down.
That is a good fucking draw. Okay, let's see here. Probably no attacks. Now I'm starting to see a little bit about how to be good. Getting tired? Not really. It's more like I'm just trying to spend all my brain cycles that I can thinking about how this deck works. Because there's a couple layers to thinking through your strategy in a game. Like, one layer is in this turn, what do I think is the best thing to do? But that's servicing the broad strategy of the game. And I have a lot of questions about this thing, which is making it really hard for me to think through this more basic layer. For instance, if we were a really aggressive deck, I should play this Deputy of Detention right away, remove things, and start hitting in the face. If that is the strategy of the deck. But in this circumstance, it's not 100% clear what the basic strategy of this deck is. To me, that is. To me, that is. So this deck doesn't have counters. It could have a dive down. So if this is a Drake stack, I mean, disabling the Drakes is really the money play, no matter what. Okay. Lord Series says, what's the deck's prime win condition? Can that help determine the strategy? Well, it's not a deck where it's just like, oh, here's the... this is the win condition. Like, you point to one thing. It has a lot of high-value creatures that are very good at being reactive. And it tends to grind down over a long period of time. Just very clearly by its construction. So in other words, it's a very diffuse, distributed strategy of winning. And for that reason, this is kind of why it's hard for me to quickly clarify, that's how we do it, you know. An alternative strategy in this position would have been to Hydroid Krasis at end of turn, but I don't think our opponent has. Who has reach? Yeah, this has vigilance and reach. Dean Struggers, you try cutting the blue and white and putting Nissan Karn in there. Unless my opponent has a maximized velocity, this is not actually that significant of a threat. And plus, we don't actually see any other units. So yeah, that's why I'm spending a lot of time thinking. And I think that, like, this is one of the things that, just generally speaking, makes deck building hard. This is what makes playing different decks hard, is that it's not simply the, oh yeah, what's the big obvious play I do in this turn. It's like the whole strategy that you're going for.
Not bad.
Relative to the deck.
For a mouse.
Okay. So this is 3, 3, and 3. 6, 8, 10, 12. So X equals 10. Kind of sucks, but it's alright. This is a fine card to attack with. It's gonna be pretty difficult to kill the Hydroid Krasis. I think it's possible. Like Beacon Bolt would just nuke it immediately. There's a lot of those in there. So yeah, I mean, and I think that this is one of the gaps between someone who's maybe a low to mid-level player, you know, who just plays some, versus, you know, when you're starting to play Magic a lot more, which is that, like, you can look at a turn, and everyone can identify, here's the play that I would do under this and this. But I think that what makes someone skillful with a deck is understanding what the value of each card is, what the situations that this specific card is supposed to accomplish. Like, for instance, this Knight of Autumn is like a really interesting example. Like, when do you gain life? When do you put the counters on it? In other words, when do you want to rush this thing out, or when do you want to, like, leave it open for the artifact or enchantment stuff? Nice. Oh, there is an Arclight Phoenix. What do you know? Okay, so I think we want another Deputy of Detention. We definitely don't want these guys in there. I think the Lyras are actually real good here. Yeah, this seems good. Like, for instance, in this situation, this is something that I'm starting to learn more and more. I should be thinking of what creatures are good to get flashed in response to things. So I think that a naive approach would be, let's put in time wipes. There were a lot of creatures that were on our opponent's board. Oh, if we had a time wipe, we could have killed all those. That's true. But I think that the way this deck wants to play is invite the Drakes to swing, and then we flash in Lyra and eat the Drake. A really interesting experience. This is kind of why I like playing other decks. Even though we've been losing for like 90 minutes, I really enjoy the experience of, whoa, I'm not sure what's going on, and just to keep playing and playing and playing and playing and playing and playing, and then you start to go, oh, I see. Iridium says, would it not be better to have both, though? Again, if you're going to suggest a card to put in, we have to think of a card to cut. So if we start to think of, okay, would we cut in order to run the time wipes? My claim is I do want to be running cards like all my Planeswalkers. Okay, would we want to cut the Llanowar Elves or the Incubation Druids? Probably not. Growth Chamber Guardians? That could be a candidate for it, but I'd kind of like to just be shutting my opponent down and building a board out with creatures. Seems like a great hand. Like, I always find that winning feels very satisfying, but, like, losing is much more interesting. More interesting things happen in games where losses are occurring than in games where wins are occurring a lot. Graham says, solid point. Unfortunately, I have no immediate counter. I'll think on that. I think there's something there, which is like, okay, well, which... Oh, how I wish I could play all the cards I wish to play. If my opponent is running a Fiery Candidate, which is very possible given the fact that we're running a lot of X2s, we could be screwed. But our opponent could also say, well, Sean's running a lot of X3s, so it's unlikely. There's something there to, like, time wipes and other types of things, but I'm trying to... And again, I think that speaking on this whole strategy layer, like, okay, well, what is the entire strategy of the arc of the game going to be? Because, for instance, if our game-long arc actually is... Fucking hell. Coming in. If our game-long arc actually is focus more on building a board and go to town. Then if that's the case, then yeah, time wipes really hurt us. If we're in a situation where we are, why would we want to board in time wipes? Well, it makes a lot of sense to say, oh, dude, that's for situations where we are constantly on the defense. We're losing a lot of creatures on the board, so often we have 0 or 1 creatures on the board. So I can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then Crazy Boy for 2. I think that's probably what I want to do. No! Fuck! Ah, shit. Ah! When you click on this, it opens up a little panel of, like, what color mana you want to generate. So I just clicked on the wrong one. I got UI'd a little bit. I intended to tap this for the mana first, just to make sure that this thing tapped correctly. So that may have lost us the entire game, but that's fine. Oof, fuck, that hurts a lot. Hurts a hell of a lot, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, well, X equals 4 here, I guess. That is very, very painful. That's a pretty agonizing loss, if that's going to be the game. Aspen56 says, haven't played this deck, but after watching for a while, it seems like this deck just wants to take advantage of Esper and red deck wins and can't compete as well against other mid-range / value decks. I would say whether that's true or false. Oh my gosh, this is agonizing. Whether that's true or false, I don't think that it's... Well, now I have enough blockers on the ground when I play this guy. I don't think that... I think that that's given up a little too soon for me. Because what I'd actually rather do is be like, okay, I'm seeing that there's a lot of problems with the gameplay that I've been having. So, let me take a moment to analyze that gameplay. And see what's going wrong relative to that gameplay. We're probably just going to die with Lightning Strike. Yeah. Yeah, I interfaced myself and died. Which is pretty fucking painful. Ugh. This will be the last game. Yeah, I feel like... So this isn't addressed directly to you, Iceman 5K, but I think that there's too often people that will start losing and then go, oh, well, it's just the deck itself doesn't do, and it's the deck's fault, and I'm just not gonna, and I'm walking away from it, you know? You know, it's the sort of person who plays deck whack-a-mole where they're like, oh, red deck wins is way too strong, I'm gonna play it. And then they play it and they run it against Esper, and they're like, oh, I'm losing to Esper, oh, God. I'm gonna go back to, you know, White Weenie. Oh, that's not working too. You know, you start hopping from deck to deck to deck to deck to deck. If you want to get good at anything, you're gonna have to bang your head against the wall. Like, I can tell you a great strategy in StarCraft, and it will take a lot of practice to execute it well. So as I'm playing, I don't really care if this deck is necessarily bad in the meta. That is not a question that I'm going to... I sense this get out of my mind. As I'm playing, I don't care if the deck is bad. I'm not trying to really answer the question, is the deck bad? Typically, in between games, that's when I'll start to go, man, this deck is... Actually, maybe I should have Teferi'd. Meow, meow.
You can still walk away.
What I actually do care about is how do I improve at and get better at this deck that I really don't understand. So that's what I'm really trying to feel for myself. I'm really feeling like, whoa, I'm not sure how that works. I'm not sure what goods this is going to do. I don't know about XYZ move here. And because I have all these questions in my mind, I want to keep playing until I start getting some answers to those questions. And part of that process is going to be losing a shitload, and that's fine. That is no big deal to me. Well, I mean, this is going to put our hand a little face up, and that's fine. So even though it's been 90 minutes of losing, it's also been 90 minutes of learning stuff, so that's, albeit not as emotionally satisfying, you know, it's still pretty good. It's pretty clear I have a Frilled Mystic here, so. I'm just going to play it. I just want the body. Oketra. I'm gonna die next turn. There's some different Bant flash decks that have like Wilderness Reclamations that I think I'd like a little to play a little bit more because they seem to be more reasonable. Our opponent seems stuck on mana. Oh, yeah, this card. Yeah, let's take that action, man. No! God, I wanted to draw 2 cards. Alright. I'm screwing up on these interface buttons. I'm like, I want to draw 2 cards, hit X equals 2. Fuck, man. God damn it. Well, at least it was gonna die anyways.
Sometimes rest. Ha! I've seen worse.
How much mana is this? Maybe this will work. I mean, technically, it's not exactly misclicks. It's not like
I've seen things that
interface is killing me. It's just like my brain keeps malfunctioning, and then I correctly hit the button. Hey, a weird question. Anyone else here a sumo wrestling fan? What does this one do? Oh, that's right.
Not again.
I've here been watching the May sumo tournament. One of my buddies in Dota has introduced me to the every other month tournaments in Japan for sumo. And like NHK, which is the network on which all the shit's displayed, displooged. I probably should have seen that one coming.
Balance comes.
Balance in all things. But,
Trust me. Thank me later. Don't worry. I got it.
did I get -8'd? Why is this so huge? Ah, I see. Nice, she's dead.
It's going to be like that, huh? Ha! I've seen worse.
But NHK has these like 30-minute daily recaps, and they're like really nice, man. It's really fun to watch them. Alright, Teferi's gonna die, which is just great. Which is just fantastic news. I think we might be able to win one match. Alright. Bam.
This is hardly my worst defeat.
This is hardly my worst defeat. See, this is actually starting to feel cool. This is actually starting to feel like a deck that's doing something. Take that action. We're doing it. Yes. Go attack my dudes. Bing. Bing, bong, bing. We play Vivien.
Wild animals I like. People, all things begin and end in nature.
All my creatures have flash, and this is actually feeling good. Oh my god, we might win a best of 3. We might do it. It's actually accomplishing a non-zero amount of shit. Yes! Yes! Oh, yeah. Oh my god, feels like we're gonna have answers. Woo! Gary Fine Broker. Oh, we're about to become a wide boy. I mean, if I just flash in Shalai, we just, like, immediately win, because our opponent doesn't have flappers. Is extension not working? All the extensions should be up and running just fine. Woo! Hover isn't working? Well, I mean, I'll restart it. See if this works now. Does it work now? Alright, that's good. So, I mean, I think I do something relatively similar to before. Where I try to get in some Baffling Ends. And that's about it, right? Baffling Ends. Sadwolf TV says, in your mind, is becoming senior at something more retaining a depth of knowledge or learning how to quickly, or learning how to learn quickly in the space? I think I would need more context for the question. I think I would need more context for the question. I mean, if you're talking about professional employment, then it varies very, very widely on what the actual job is. You know, for instance, like, if you are a, broadcast engineer. You know what being a broadcast engineer means? It means whenever shit's going wrong with your broadcast, the broadcast engineer just knows a bunch of stuff to fix it. Like, every 30 minutes it just keeps going buzzing really loudly. What's going on? Oh yeah, I know what's going on with that. It must be XYZ thing, right? And so, in that context, it is 100% about the amount of knowledge that that person has in that context. Like, 100%. Whereas, you know,
I know my responsibility.
there's a lot of technical fields where it's like, yeah, you just gotta be good at learning it, you know. Daybreak says, oftentimes a lot of your messages are about being able to lose/manage failure. How do you retain such a positive image on negative feelings? I feel that it's not a very common trait in people who allows others to excel where most don't. I've had some... Well, let's see here. Let me think through this turn. I'm not going to say a word to you until I figured my turn out. So if I play Vivien, she just dies. I think this is a very good Krasis for 2 turn. Very nice draw. I think it's a couple of things. One is just that I have historically had a lot of exposure to shitty emotions. I just had a lot of exposure, and so it just doesn't alarm me that much. Ah, Vraska's, okay.
Its pain is our gain.
Ah, that's right.
You'll pay for that.
I think I want to just start eating things. Let me think for a moment. This is a shitty turn. This is gonna look real boring. A couple ways it is. Get that one out of there. I think this is actually the best play. But yeah, I think that, like, having just a lot of experience, like, and a big chunk of that is just Brood War, right? Just, like, trying really hard at something, and then just getting your teeth kicked in, right? Like, I think that there is a thought that if you're behaving positively, it means that you don't have any negative emotions going on. You know, like, oh, Sean doesn't seem that bothered. That must mean internally he feels great. There are plenty of times at which I actually feel really bad. But I'm just not bothered by feeling really bad. I don't view it as truth. I don't view it as the day is bad. I just feel kind of bad. It's alright to feel bad. Nothing happens. Nothing bad happens if you feel shitty. So I think in one regard, I'm very, very, very comfortable with uncomfortable emotions.
Let me show you what was
oh,
lost.
fuck yeah, let's get an elf, baby. Oh no! Ah, she's gone.
Fortune favors you.
Great. Empty board, no threats against Golgari. Gonna play Magad. Shooting an arrow. No, never mind, not shooting it. And I think that, like, that's something that was very useful for me to hear as a kid. Just, like, negative emotions aren't true or false, they're just emotions. And it's important to become comfortable with uncomfortable emotions. You know, it's kind of like when my, you know, cats are like, meow, 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 dad, meow, 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 meow. They're just, like, losing their fucking little minds. Like, you know, is that annoying? Yeah. Yeah, you know what? It's actually kind of annoying sometimes. That's alright. No big deal. You know, they're gonna meow. That's alright. And I think that, in a way, just knowing that, like, worst case scenario, I just have a negative emotion that doesn't bother me that much. I think that knowledge makes things feel way less. That just cuts the edge off the intensity a lot. Like, let me give an example. Let's say that if I were playing a game of Magic and I did something embarrassing, like I made a mistake, I would feel really embarrassed, and that would feel like an amount 10 of bad. Oh my god, on a scale of 1 to 10, I feel like 10. I feel so much embarrassment. But then let's say I start to get more comfortable with being embarrassed. Like, I've done some embarrassing things today, but the fact that I know what embarrassment feels like makes it actually sting less. So when I've done those embarrassing things, I'm actually at like a level 3 of embarrassed. I don't actually feel that embarrassed. But even that level 3 of embarrassment, it just doesn't bother me that much, right? It's no big deal. Oh my god, we might actually win a game. Why? Why would you not... Oh, because it needs all those colors of mana. Got it. Figuring it out. Gimme.
Beasts are much more reliable.
I mean, like, if you messed up an infinite damage historic card OTK? That's actually a really good example, right? Like, you know, it's easy for me to, like, oh my god, I feel like so much shame. Oh god, but how did Sean not get embarrassed there? I totally got embarrassed, but you could clearly see I wasn't really bothered. I'm just not that terribly bothered by, oh yeah, I forgot to leave mana open for this thing. We knew that was coming, we're just not paying attention. Yeah, I'm just not that bothered by that, you know. I think it's a useful thing to reflect on. Because I think there's also this attitude of, like, whenever a bad thing happens, to go, you know, like let's say you got really angry at work at someone, or let's say you got really embarrassed when you lost a game of Dota when you were showing your friend, or any number of other things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, let's.
Have you ever lost a home?
I think what a lot of people do is a lot of people, when those bad things happen, they get alarmed and they go, how do I make that not happen anymore? I mean, a lot of ways, it's just like, dude, shitty things are gonna happen. Just don't worry about it. Why am I not countering these things? I'm trying to counter that. I'm very deliberately trying to counter that exact one. I'm just way more invested into this conversation than this game. Because this game's pretty much over. Alright, then our opponent will Obnixilis' Cruelty this. And we'll counter that. Alright. Let's just minus this. It's working. Take the action.
The mysteries of life are endless.
Oh, I'll get another one of those. Seems good. Alright. You go. Yeah, alright. Oh no, not this jerk. Dev I can't believe that these god cards feel fair. I'm like so amazed with his ability to do that.
Starting over's the only way.
Oops. Everyone gets +1/+1 counter. So we now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. I'd love to be able to like double that. Game's gonna take forever. Yeah, no, it's never gonna end. I'm never gonna eat dinner. I'm thinking salmon tonight. I'm thinking salmon sounds good, but I don't know. Chicken takes the exact same amount of time to cook as some short grain rice. I love. Oh shit, we are a very lucky beaver. The luckiest beaver that ever were.
I've seen puppies whine less than you.
Yeah, dude, why not? Let's just play this shit. Yeah, I mean, I actually don't even see a reason to attack at all. And Shalai is just going to keep making everything huge. 2, 6, 8, 10. I need a pair of more manas.
You can still walk away.
Alright, let's play this. Alright, let's play this. Alright, let's hit this button. I'm not yet convinced. Shuffle it up once. I'm still not actually convinced we can just like win if we just like swonk in there. And I'm not gonna do the math, man. I'm just gonna keep making the board big. Yeah, you wanna double your shit, man? You got it. There it is. Okay.
Let us see. I know, it's a tough board state, Sheriff. Alright, so we gotta also block this jerk. So let's block it like this and like this. And Growth Chamber Guardians, we don't actually terrifically care much about them. Not even interesting to us. Oketra's gonna do some work on this, and we're gonna have this 7/7 guy block that. I should, and you know what? I'm just gonna give him an elf. This is my design. They don't have trample, I don't think. They better not have trample. We did it! We figured it out! Bang! Yeah! Hi, Sheriff. Hi. Alright. Alright, we finally won a single thing. We did it. We won one game.